What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another stream. My name is Ofentse. Hope I am audible. It's been a minute, guys. I know I've missed the past 2 or 3 game weeks due to forced and unforced circumstances, but we move, ladies and gentlemen. For the benefit of those who are going to be watching the video back, it is 11:46 a.m. on Saturday, 19th October. 14 minutes until we are into the game week 8, or until the game week 8 deadline is passed, should I say. So I am just gonna get through it quickly. I'm gonna share my screen just now. Just feel free, ladies and gentlemen, to let me know if I am audible, if you can see my screen. I'm glad to be back. I'm happy football is actually back because it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we started watching some football. So yes, I was completely zoned out, or I didn't pay much attention to any football in the past week or so, international break. I told myself I'm going to give myself a break, but I am back. Last week I got 62 points, which was a very, very good week, I should say. I made 2 free transfers. I still have Henderson, believe it or not. I'm going to keep him until I play my wild card. When am I going to play my wild card? I haven't even decided when I'm going to play my wild card. So 4.5 for a goalkeeper. I do not expect many clean sheets from him. He's been a disappointment. He's only actually kept 1 clean sheet against, surprise, my team, 9 points. That was the only time. The one time I didn't want him to keep a clean sheet, guess what? He actually did keep a clean sheet. 12 minutes until deadline. I'm going to quickly go through the team so that we can look at or look ahead to game week 8. This is game week 7. This was actually 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure it feels like it was more than 2 weeks ago because this international break took longer than we all hoped for. My defense, disappointing. Gabriel, 2 points. They conceded twice against Leicester. They conceded against Southampton. The best defense in the league, playing home to the worst 2 teams in the league, and they conceded. But I'm pretty happy because I decided to go with the Arsenal attack instead of the double defense, which you can see in many teams or engaged managed teams. Then I have Yezri Konza, 1 point. I mean, my luck, you could not write this. Yezri Konza, Aston Villa keep a clean sheet. And guess what? He went off after 11 minutes, but now he's fit and ready to play this week. So it could have been more. Plus, add 5 points to that, I would be on 67 points. Van de Beek, Sepp Van de Beek, I bought him just to enable money because I knew, not Yezri Konza, I knew that Mykolenko was a doubt going into the previous fixture for Everton. I was actually planning to play Mykolenko against Everton, but he got injured. We did get the leaks on Twitter, so I decided to buy Sepp Van de Beek for Robinson. It was not a great move to begin with, but as we can see here, the fixtures for Brentford are very good. In the next 6 fixtures, on paper, the hardest is today against Man United, whom I believe they can actually win the game, but we will talk to that when we preview the games. Going into my midfield, that's where I got the points. Rodgers, a bit disappointing, but what do I expect? I bought him for 5 million. He's only had 3 returns. I will take 3 returns in 7 game weeks for someone valued at 5 million. He's an enabler for me because he enables me to get the premium picks, which I'm going to go through. Madueke was actually my second best performing player of the week, finally returning, coming big for me with the double figure walls. I'm actually happy with that I kept him for 5 weeks. He might actually be my transfer that I might make in the next 10 minutes or so, but I'm happy that I stuck with him and I brought him in. He was a good pick, as well as Cole Palmer, as I've said. If you've watched my content from the beginning of the season, I've stayed constant that Cole Palmer for me is one of the best players in the league. If not, the outputs is there. His own penalties, he's just ridiculous value. 10.8 now. I bought him for 10.5. So I am glad that a lot of managers are thinking of bringing him to the team or their team. So that means that Palmer's been doing well. Saka, 16 points. I'm happy with him, of course. He's now flagged, and there's been a lot going through on social media. Even Arsenal were part of it. They did take a Mickey, or you would say, like, they are bantering. Like, we saw Declan Rice wearing the number 7 shirt or a number 7 beep. So, Arsenal, yeah. We will get into Saka when we look at our teams, but last week he got 16 points. He was my vice captain. Am I mad that I could have captained him? Partially, because the plan was to captain him at home, but going against Haaland, which I did the previous week, and it didn't pay off because Saka didn't return against Leicester, and Haaland blanked as well against Newcastle away. But it's okay. I'll take that. Brian Mbumo was also my transfer last week. I brought the double Brentford boys into the team. Couldn't be more happier. I'm just mad that I took time into bringing him. He's only returned once for me, 8 points. I've missed out on his other 5 goals, but what can I do? I bought him at 7.3. He's now 7.5. He has great fixtures. He's on penalties. He's a talisman. Like, to be honest, if you don't have Brian Mbumo, you should bring him to your team. He should be 9 million. Yeah, there's nothing much I can say. It was a mistake from me for not having him or going against him, but it's the game that we play. You can't have all of them, but I brought Brian Mbumo. My attacking forwards, Kai Havertz, 8 points. I've also stayed constant with Kai Havertz that I like to have a number 9 from the top 2 teams in the league, which are Arsenal and City. I believe he can get 20 goals if he stays fit. His numbers are actually decent. Last week was expected XGI non-penalty of 0.81. The week before against Leicester, he was expected to score 1.93. That's almost 2 goals. So he was, in the past 2 games, he's actually underachieved because he's only scored 2 goals and he should have or was expected to at least score 3 goals, which means the data is there. The only worry thing about him is not the flag for me. Kai Havertz will play, I am certain of that, is that he's only returned in his home games. As you can look, Southampton at home, he's returned. Leicester at home, he scored a goal. Then he's blanked against City and Tottenham. Granted, tough fixtures, but away from home, no returns. Those are blanks. At home against Brighton, he returned as well. He blanked against Villa away, and he returned the double figure, his only double figure haul against Wolves in the first game of the season. So if you look at their fixtures, for me, fixtures, they do matter. I'm a fixture person for those who have been watching my content before. But these next 4 away games are pretty tricky. But as I've said, my plan is to keep them long-term Arsenal picks. For me, they have the best assets in FPL. They are cheap. So for me, it's a no-brainer to have 3 Arsenal players at all time because they can win with a clean sheet at any given day. Haaland, yeah, he blanked, but what can I say? He was always not going to perform, score hat-tricks every week, but there's nothing I can do. He's there for me for the long term until he gets injured. He's probably going to be my captain for the next 5 game weeks. Yeah, that's it. 62 points. Beautiful rise. Last time I streamed, I was probably 1.9 million. Now I'm 649,000 in the world. Looking into my team, 5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to lock up. I will go through into detail about the fixtures, today's fixtures after the deadline. I'm just going to quickly go through my team, quickly make my transfer. There's 4 minutes left. Henderson in goal. He'll be there, like I said. Gabriel, Mikalenko, and Murillo. I could play Yezri Konza, but I think actually Aston Villa have the best defense not the best, but they have one of the best defensive data in the league, top 4, I believe. So if I go according to stats, I should play him according against Mikalenko, but I just have that feeling that Fulham would score, and you never know with Sean Dyche team, they can easily win 2-0. Midfield hasn't changed so far. Rogers, Madueke, Saka, Palmer, Mbuemo. Then I have Haaland and Havertz in the attack. I'm going to quickly make a transfer. I have 0.9 in the bank. There's 4 minutes left. I'm not going to overthink it as much as I would like to keep Madueke, but I have to go for a Spurs pick. So you guys can take a big guess of whom I'm going to buy, because I didn't mention him on the video description below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you like and you comment. Actually, this helps with the algorithm so that more people can actually get exposed to my content. No prizes for guessing. I'm going with Brennan Johnson. Tottenham have the best attack according to stats this season, so I need to get a Tottenham attacker. I don't want to get Solanke because Havertz, as I've said, I want to keep him, and as you can see, I only play with 2 strikers. Saka, I'm a bit worried, because I saw on AFTV, one of the guys, Lee Judges, mentioning that he might not play today. But for me, according to history, I'll take it as new information if he doesn't play today. We know Arteta, excuse me for the language, but he takes us for a ride. He'll never tell you who's going to play, so there's no need to listen to him. Saka is almost always yellow flagged. So if Saka has even one limp, Arteta will play him. So I think he'll play, but we'll see. So my transfer, I have one free transfer. I'm using it on Brennan Johnson. Make transfer. Let's save the team, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, that is it. Brennan Johnson comes straight into the team. I'm going to quickly screenshot this so that I can post this on my Twitter social to share with this. I share my team on Twitter every day. Feel free to follow me. I will put my Twitter credentials or handle, sorry, on the video description after this. But yes, this is my team for the week. There's actually 2 minutes until deadline. I am locked. I've made one free transfer. I don't have any transfers now, so it's gonna be a bit of a challenge for me to make big upgrades in the upcoming weeks, but we will see. With 0.8 in the bank. So now, with only a minute left, ladies and gentlemen, please lock in your teams. Make sure you've captained whoever you think is the best captain option for your team. For me, I'm going with Haaland. As I've said, I'm going to captain him for the next 4 game weeks. I don't mind him blanking. I actually, as I've mentioned, I'm glad with the prices that we have this season. We can't get all the players, so this makes the game fun. I'm actually enjoying the game this year, and we're gonna be making either rank gains or we're gonna be dropping off the ranks. But either way, I'm happy with how they've changed prices, like increasing Palmer's price to 10.5 to begin with from 5 million. So that's just good. So yes, let's go through the team. Then I will quickly go through the fixtures. Then I will proceed. I'm gonna stream for the next 15 minutes until the Tottenham Spurs, as I always do. I stream until we have team news of the early fixture. In this week, we have the London Derby, Spurs versus West Ham. So in goal, Dean Henderson. It is what it is. I'm expecting him to get 2 or 3 points. If you have money in your bank or you want to spend money in goalkeeper, for me, it goes without saying David Raya is the best choice. But as you can see, I already used my 3 Arsenal spots on other positions. So for me, there is not much of a difference between points for goalkeepers. So I will rather save the money and use that 1 million elsewhere. So if you wanna get clean sheets more often than not, they are the picks. You go David Raya, you go Edison. Even though City always find a way to concede, he's been trolling a lot of people, Edison, in the past few years. So yeah, those are the picks that I can say you go and goal. Oh, Nana. I know United's defense look like a mess, but we somehow find a way to keep clean sheets, even though we scam back our way to games. But yeah, we will speak about United when I go through my predictions. In defense, Gabriel. I started the season with Ben White. For me, he was my best. He was my best pick last season. He helped me gain the ranks so much. Like he's one of my favorite FPL assets. He's my favorite from last year, Ben White. Like he got me clean sheets, assists, goals. Like yeah, no. So this year, he's since he got injured, I've brought in Gabriel after the Man City game at 6 million. He's now risen to 6.2. It's actually past deadline, ladies and gentlemen. So it's locked. Game week 8, FPL is officially back. So hopefully, happy green arrows once again. So yeah, let's go through the team. Though Gabriel, I brought him after the Man City game. He found a way to concede against Leicester and Southampton. I do not mind that because I do not have the two defensive asset for Arsenal like most people. Most people have went with two defenders and one attacker. But I have Kai Havertz, and I want to keep him for the long term. So Gabriel, he can, as I've mentioned, Arsenal's fixtures are actually not looking good until the next international break. Away to Bournemouth, home to Liverpool, away to Newcastle, away to Chelsea. 3 of their next 4 fixtures are away. You would think that Arsenal would not keep clean sheets given the fixture difficulty, but for me, this is where they normally surprise us and keep clean sheets. I expect them to keep at least 2 clean sheets in the next 4 fixtures. It probably can come today against Bournemouth and one against possibly Liverpool, Chelsea, or Newcastle. So yeah, and Gabriel can score a header against anyone, as we have all witnessed. He's already got 2 goals against City away, Tottenham away. Who's to say he can bang in another one? Hopefully there, Gabriel. I've never owned Gabriel until the start of the past 2 game weeks. So he's never done nothing for me, but every time I've always feared not having him because he always looks like a threat. Like every single corner Arsenal get, like the opposition know that Saka is going to put it into his head or on his head, and he still does it, and they can't find a way to block him. Whether he peels off at the back post or he stands at the front post, he's just a magnet to the ball. And yeah, for me, he'll be there until the end of the season. Touch wood, if he stays fit, he'll be there because I think he can get like 6 or 7 goals this season. Mikalenko, not much hope, but Everton clean sheet can surprise us. You know, Everton's best player is Jared Brandthwaite. It's not a coincidence that the one game that Brandthwaite played, Everton have won. So he's a doubt for today. He missed last week. Granted that they kept a clean sheet against Newcastle at home, but if Brandthwaite isn't there, I would hope that Mikalenko can do something. If he doesn't get a clean sheet, maybe he gets an assist. We'll take that. Murillo, I've had him from game week 1. He's not done much, to be fair. I've only had returns against Southampton. I didn't play him when they beat Liverpool. He was on the bench. So their defensive data is actually good, right? But as you can see here, XG conceded as a team. Okay, last week was pretty bad against Chelsea, 2.27. But yeah, Chelsea second best attacking team in the league. Against Fulham, they lost 1-0. XGI conceded of 1.3, so they were expected to concede at least a goal. But don't forget that Fulham's goal was a penalty. So that XG was hiked mainly by penalty. Then the rest of the games, except their opening game, they had an XG of less than 1, even though it was 0.9. So defensively, they are good. They were expected to concede 7.6 goals a season in 7 matches. So a goal a game. Hopefully, they can get a clean sheet or 2. I think I'll be playing him in these next 4 fixtures. If you can realize a pattern is that most teams that are playing home this week, right, they will have 3 home fixtures in their next 4. So until the next international break. And as we saw with Arsenal, they have 3 away fixtures, and in game week 9, they have the home fixtures. So that's how the fixtures have fallen. It's not for all the fixtures. I'll give you an example. I think I've realized Brentford, it's not like 3-1, but for most it's like 3-1. So Murillo, I'm expecting at least 2 clean sheets of the next 4. I'll play him in all the 4. He doesn't have much attacking output, but yeah, he's a 4.5 defender, center half. You never know when they score bullet headers from set pieces. Midfield, we have Rogers, new boy Brennan Johnson, Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, Brian Mbumo. Very, very, very good midfield. Saka and Palmer, for me, they are permanent, not permanent, but I would like to keep them in a long run. I have had them as 2 of my 3 premium picks for the whole season. Actually, I've had them from game week 1. I haven't played no chip. So far it's looking good, but you never know with FPL. So I'll individually, Rogers, not expecting much, but he plays for a good team, Aston Villa, and he's playing 90 minutes every game, bar from against Ipswich, which he had like a knock in that game. So he was substituted early. So for me, 5 million, it's a bargain. I don't expect much, but you never know. You never know. Sometimes the points can fall for him, and Villa probably score 2 goals and he scores both of them. Like we can all imagine, FPL is actually, we're just predicting, we're making guesses. Like, yeah, that's just what it is. Like, you never know who's gonna score. Like I always tell my friends, it does not matter who scores. If your team plays well, goals will come. So for us is to predict who's more likely to get those goals for that team. For example, Erling Haaland, how many times has Man City scored 3 goals and Erling Haaland scored none? It's just variance. You see, other weeks, as you can see, game week 3, City scored 3-1, Haaland scored all 3. So you never know. It's about making the correct decision and hoping that the outcome favors you. It just is what it is. Even though there is a debate whether there is skill or luck, it's both. It's both for me. Like there's a skill to playing FPL, but like everyone, we need luck. We need luck. So yeah, it is what it is. Brennan Johnson, Tottenham, they leave a lot to be desired in defense or how they defend, but going forward, they have the best stats. Unfortunately, I do not have the stats. I will try to give more effort, possibly tomorrow, to go through the stats. But I've seen that Tottenham are the best attacking team in terms of XG. So they have been expected to score more goals than anybody else. As you can see, Brennan Johnson, he's those typical FPL knee-jerk reaction, just like Madueke. After he scored a hat-trick, I bought him, and I tell the people who are watching or advise them, do not buy Madueke because you can't chase points. You must pick the good picks, but don't chase points. Like if someone scored 4 goals last week, doesn't mean when last did he score 4 goals before that? He might not even score 4 goals ever again. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I had to cover a Spurs attack, and I believe that Johnson is the easiest route for me with the team that I have. I would like to have Solanke. I think he's the best option of the Spurs attackers, but I do not want to lose Havertz because I think Havertz is the second best attacker in the league in terms of, I'm talking about forwards in terms of FPL. I'm not talking about the player himself. He's nowhere near top 2 best forwards in the league. You know, I think people like Ollie Watkins can have something to say about it. But in terms of FPL, he's the second best because he plays for the second best team in the league in Arsenal, and he's their number 9. Like he has to go. He has to score 20 goals. Like, come on, number 9 for Arsenal. He has to score 20 goals. Brennan Johnson returned in his last 3 games. As you can see, Spurs have scored 8 goals in their last 3 games. So the data actually, it goes in hand with the output that the attack has put. So Spurs have scored 2, Johnson scored 1. Against United, they scored 3. He's got 2 attacking returns, a goal and an assist. And against Brentford, he played 69 minutes. He got a goal. Spurs scored 3. His individual XG data as a team is that he's 0.7. Actually, this is the XG considered. Sorry. So yeah, he has, these are good numbers actually. 0.7. Then he had 1.2. Granted, it's against Man United, one of the worst teams in the league. I support United, but we are done out here from. Then against Brentford, 0.5. He has an XGI of 0.6, which is so good. Like it's good for someone who's 6.6 playing right wing for Spurs. So I expect Spurs to score goals today. Hopefully he can be there. If he's not scoring, he's assisting. I think it's a good pick. And granted, there are fixtures in their next 4 until the next international break. West Ham at home, Crystal Palace away, Villa at home, Ipswich at home. Like, you just had to have one of the Spurs players, in my opinion. So, yeah, those are just great fixtures. After international break, they have City, but City always find a way to concede. Who's to say that Johnson can score? Saka, yeah. For those who actually follow FPL on Twitter, it's been a huge fuss. Like, we did get comments from the English interim manager, Lee Carsley, I believe. He did say Saka could have played Saka on Sunday when they were playing Finland, but he didn't want to risk him. And surprise, surprise, our fate was reliant on who? Mikel Arteta to give us information, and he gave us nothing, as always. He always finds a way to find an edge over the opponents. So Arteta will never tell you anything about injuries. This week they asked him about Kai Havertz. He said, we have a training session. If he gets through it, he'll play. Saka, I think he went through the similar lines by saying, we have a training session. He's close. It's not a bad injury. Yeah, for me, if Saka is half fit, Arteta always plays him. As you can see, last year he started 35 games. The season before, 37. He almost never misses a game. This season, he started all the games. Granted, he played 45 minutes against City, but they were a man down, so they had to sacrifice one of their wingers, and it was Bukayo Saka. He's returned in every single game, apart from one against the Leicester one. You see variance. The 1 week I captained Saka, not the 1 week, but I did captain him against Leicester. They scored 4 goals, and he did not get any returns. But his data was so good. He was expected to score at least a goal, 1.08, and he had a XA, expected assist, of 0.79. So he's just the assist king. As you can see, he has 7 assists. I think if he goes, obviously, if he goes, he can't keep this rate up. Like 7 assists in 7 games. That means he can get 38 assists. That will not happen. Just like Erling Haaland, it will go down. It will go down. But even if it halves, like he gets assists every other game, that means that he's going to break the record of 20 assists. I think it's held by Henry and De Bruyne. So he just needs 13 more assists. So, the reason why I do not want to sell him is that his routes to points. Not only is he on penalties and he scores goals, but he assists. Like, he takes the corners for Arsenal. Like, as I've said, he puts it on a platter for their attackers or defenders to score. So, yeah, for me, I don't see a reason why I will sell Saka. Like, I'm gonna have him, and unless he's actually injured, then I can sell him. I will keep him through these difficult fixtures. I expect Arsenal to score goals in every single one of these fixtures, and some of them they are gonna concede. So if they have to win these matches, they will have to score at least 2 goals. So that's good news for us who have Arsenal attackers. Cole Palmer, what can I say? Best player in the league. I was telling my friends privately that, ironically, I know that he played last week and he dropped a stinker, I think, at home to Greece, but you can't judge them off that. I thought he should have played number 10 for England, even ahead of Jude Bellingham. He's their best player for me. So you play your best players in their best positions. Hence why I always complain about Bruno. If he's not the best number 10, don't move him to right wing. If he's bad at number 10 and you want to replace someone at the number 10, put somebody else. So if you're going to play Palmer on the wing, okay, he got all those goals for Chelsea on the wing. But as we can see now, he's so brilliant at number 10, man. He likes to cover himself or play around the right-hand side. But yeah, man, he's just incredible. His returns this season, granted, he went big on 2 game weeks, but in his last 5 games, he's only managed to blank in 1 against Bournemouth. And the other, in his last 6 games, so he's returned in every game apart from the Bournemouth game. And in the last 6 games, he's returned 11 attacking returns, which is insane. You look at his data, is good. He had an XG of he had an XG of 0.49. Okay, he still got an assist from that last week. That 4 goals, he had an XG of 3. That's just incredible. He could have actually scored 6. Like, to have an XG of 3, like, let me show you. Like, if you go to Haaland's data, right, when he scored the 3 hat-tricks, his XGI actually was, you see, 1.82 and 1.83. You never match your XG. Like, you always have to, like, you outperform your XG, like, especially if you're a good finisher. So even if you score a hat-trick, I don't expect you to have an XG of 3. I expect you to have an XG of 1.5 at least. So imagine if you have 3. Like, that's just incredible, guys. 3 XGI, sorry. Like, yeah. His season XGI is 0.89. So that's a guarantee return a game week. So I have him. Chelsea's next 4 fixtures are not great. Yeah, they are a perfect example of them having away, home, away, and home in the next 4 fixtures. Tough fixture this week for me is us, Liverpool. So yeah, it will be tough, but you never know with Palmer. He can easily get a penalty, and that's 10 points easily. So you never know. I like the next 2 fixtures after that. On paper, they look difficult, Newcastle and Man United, but for me, they can easily score 2 or 3 goals in each of those games. Then yeah, Arsenal is tough. But after that, I know everyone is going to want to. He'll be almost essential to have. So Cole Palmer goes nowhere for me. Brian Mbumo, yeah, what can I say? One of the best value picks in the game. He started off for 7. To be fair, he was underpriced. I was happy with most prices, but he was definitely underpriced. I would say 7.5, he should be 9 million. He's got 6 goals already, no assists, 6 and 7. He's on penalties, talisman for Brentford. His partner in crime in Visa. Visa might be back. Yeah, Johanna Visa might be back. So Brentford, yeah, I expect him to give us a tough challenge. I actually expect Brian Mbeumo to score against Man United. So yeah, good pick. Havertz, he will play. He always plays. He plays 90 minutes. He doesn't score away, but hopefully he can. Remember last season, Bournemouth, funny enough, coincidentally, is that was the first game where Havertz got got going, should I say, for Arsenal. Because remember, Odegaard gave him Saka gave Odegaard the penalty, then they got another one, then he gave Havertz. He got his first goal. They started chanting his name, and now he's one of their most important players. Credit to Arteta. Like, even I don't think there's an Arsenal fan out there who thought Havertz was a good signing for Arsenal, but that's what good coaches. It pains me to say it. Yeah, like Arteta's the one coach I actually do not like because of the way his antics and the way he coaches a team that I do not like. But yeah, I have 3 of their players here. So what can I say? Like, you just have to give him credit, man. Like, from Chelsea, we thought, like, what are you doing? 60 million, Kai Havertz, where will he play? He did say when he bought him, he's a midfielder. But I think a good coach does accept when he's wrong, unlike Ten Hag. He doesn't stay stubborn and do the same things for 2.5 seasons. Like, come on, man. Like, he did accept, he did see that Havertz in the 8th position is not him. He just put him at number 9. He saw that Jesus is injury prone, so I might just well play Havertz as a 9. Get him to get confidence. He's actually playing well. His holder play, even his heading ability, his aerial ability is very important in the Arsenal team. So yeah, I won't say much about my captain. It's the robot himself, Erling Haaland. Yeah, if you don't have him, good on you. You can use the money wisely. For me, I'm captaining him in the next 4 games, definitely, until the next international break. Definitely the next 2, I will say. Next week, I see on Twitter that Southampton, most people might actually play, what's this, the triple captain chip. So I will just check actually that I will check on Twitter if what is the Spurs team news, because they should be in by now. Yes, Son starts, Johnson starts. Actually, I'll just go through the team. It's Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Destiny Udogi. Okay, then Besuma. Okay, normally he's been playing Bentancur as their holding midfield, but he's went Besuma with the double 8 of James Maddison and Dejan Kulusevski. Then forward line of Brennan Johnson, Dominic Solanke, and Song Heung-min. On the bench, as expected, you have Fraser Foster, Dragusin, they have Gray, I think that's the young lad from Leeds. Bentancur drops to the bench. Pape Metasa, Beckville. Then they have more. Richarlison is back actually. Then Timo Werner. So yeah, that's Spurs' best team. So I expect them to score goals. I don't know how they'll defend because, as we know, Ange ball is chaotic and they can concede, but I expect them to score at least 2 goals today. Their opponents, West Ham, it's Areola in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Kilman, and Emerson. That's the back 4. Rodriguez as the pivot with Suchek, I think that's the double pivot. Then number 10 position, then number 10, Paqueta behind Bowen, and on the side, behind Antonio, then on the wings is Kudus and Gerard Bowen. Then their subs is Fabianski, Cresswell, Soler, Sufal, Somerville, Mavropanos, then Gilham. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think that's the midfield they got from. Where did they get him from? I think somewhere in Sweden. I stand to be corrected. Then they have Danny Ings and Alvarez on the bench. The London derby. Spurs always piss their pants against West Ham. West Ham always plays well against Spurs. They see West Ham as their biggest rivals, probably because Coventry aren't in the Premier League. So yeah, you'd say West Ham's biggest game is Spurs, even though Spurs' biggest game is Arsenal. So yeah, Spurs actually have amniosity. Hey, am I saying it correct? But there's a bit of a rivalry with West Ham, Chelsea, and of course Arsenal. Arsenal is their biggest, but yeah, you get the gist of it. Yeah, Erling Haaland is going to be my player for City. I would love to bring more City picks, but yeah, I do not have space. Players to pick in midfield, I wish I had Phil Foden, but I do not have space for him. I have to sell Saka or Palmer, which I can't do. In the attacking line, I want to have Solanke. I want to have Watkins. Those are good picks. I cannot have them all. That's why I'm saying I'm happy that the prices are increased. I actually would have liked them to price Haaland at least 16 or 17. Give us a choice there. Either we go with him or against him. Like price the players higher so that we can not have them all. That makes it more enjoyable. But credit to FPL. I didn't think they would price players like Palmer at 10.5 and players like Saka at 10. So yeah, those are good picks. Another pick to go for is Son. I think Son is a good pick. He's on penalties probably. He's the talisman for Spurs. I expect him to score today, but it's hard choice if you can go for the other guy for 6.6. So yeah, we are given choices. I love that. I'm going to quickly go through the fixtures and predictions, then I will leave it there. Thank you. I see there's 3 people watching live. Please, can you just take the moment and give my video a thumbs up? I will highly appreciate that so that it helps with the algorithm. Someone else can actually see this content that I make and I can stay focused on doing it, which I will actually. Yeah, past few game weeks. Last week, I actually was going to stream, then the internet just went bad on me. So yeah, hopefully we won't get that. And hopefully I can stream a look back stream, possibly tomorrow night or Monday, because we have a Monday night fixture. But we'll see, guys. Just drop a like, drop a comment, man. Anything, you can speak most sports with me. I watch football, I watch rugby, I watch MMA. Just feel free, if you know me personally, you can also just drop a comment there. It also helps, guys. Just say, hello, OG, man. Them ones there. Tell them Monday to watch the teams. Okay, let's go through the fixtures. Spurs versus West Ham. It's going to be a good game, I think. I see goals there. It will depend on how Lopetegui plays this. But with Spurs, what you're going to get. There's going to be chances for West Ham there, for Kudus and Bowen. If they're clinical, they can punish Spurs. But I expect Spurs to win this, possibly 3-1. 3-1 to Spurs, I'll say. Next fixture, Fulham versus Aston Villa. Quite impressed by Fulham. Not so good in the opening fixture against Man United. But ever since granted, their fixtures have been kind to them, but you have to play what's in front of you. And I think they deserve to beat City last week if Adama Traore had his shooting boots on, which he never, ever does. If he could finish, he would still be at Barcelona. I think that's what the consensus can agree to. Villa, I think it's good that Villa play away for them. They have every player fit except Robin Olsen. That's what their coach Unam, good evening, Emery said. So yeah, they should also perform well. It's a tough one to call. Fulham have lost Sasha Lukic in midfield. I think he's had a dislocated shoulder in international break, so yeah, it's going to be a big miss there. He's been playing very well, but I think Sander Berger can cover that, and Emil Smith Rowe can come back into the team. So I see goals in this. I'll sit on the fence on this one and say 2-2. Next fixture, Ipswich versus Everton. Amen. Yeah, this is just written low scoring. It's either 1-0 or 1-1. It's probably going to be a 1-1. I'm hoping for a 1-0 Everton because I have Mikalenko, but I think it'll be 1-1. You know, Sean Dyche can shake your hand for a 1-1. If Gerard Braithwaite plays, they probably win. It's just that simple, man. I know Man United wanted him. He's good. He's good. He's good. So yeah, if he plays, they win. But I will say 1-1. Also sit on the fence. Then the big one. Hey, Manchester United. Yay! Yeah, there's that video of that guy. I don't know where he's from, but he looks like the reporter and he says Manchester United and he just laughs, you know. He laughs. Let me get my juice here. Okay. Manchester United versus Brentford. I'll be watching that game. Of course I will. I expect Brentford to win this football match. Those that know me personally, I've been Ten Hag's biggest advocate. I've always stayed constant that there are bigger problems at Manchester United than the players and the manager behind the scenes. We are the biggest club in England easily. We still don't have a stadium. Everton Football Club are going to have a stadium next year. We don't have a new stadium. So Everton, I mean, Old Trafford roof is leaking. We're just rubbish, man. Like, there's no need to stay optimistic. We need to say what we see. Like, I did say that Ten Hag back the manager. We need a structure first. We got a structure. I believe we bought good players. I'm not gonna now change my opinion just because we've been shite, mate. Like, I'm not. I'm gonna believe that Lenny Yoro is a good player. We haven't seen him yet. I'm gonna believe that there's a player in Matthias de Ligt. He is slow, but having him and Euro play for the same position, it's good competition. Zexi, I actually do like. He's not a finisher. You might just well play him number 10 ahead of Bruno, but yeah, the Bruno Fernandes fan club will get on to me. You know, I'm known as the one who doesn't like Bruno Fernandes, but guys, GA doesn't mean you're a good player. Now the GA is gone. Now he's exposed. Like, Odegaard is not about the GA. There's a player there. Whether he doesn't score, Bernardo Silva, like, you have to effect the game and not be selfish. For me, he's too selfish in terms of the decision making he plays. I've always stayed constant. He's a good player. He has a good right foot on him, good technique, good shot, but that's all. He can't carry the ball. His ball carrying ability is it's non-existent. He can't get past anyone. He can rather shimmy than you will make the decision for him. But if you stand there, Bruno Fernandes will not pass through you with his ball ability. He doesn't make the right decision. He's taken corners and free kicks for the past 3 years, and they've always been wayward. When he defends, he leaves the space there. Like, he always leaves. We were complaining that it's McFred. Look, McFred is gone, and we still have the same issues. Maybe it's Ten Hag's system. It's not maybe. It's actually Ten Hag's system. It's not only Bruno, guys. He's a good player. If he gets another manager, he can get his form and score his goals. But for me, I've always stayed constant, even when he was doing well. Like, this guy does not benefit the team. If we want to start playing well and being a team that's consistent, we need players that are consistent. I don't want a player. There was a game against 20. Last kick of the game, free kick, 35 yards. And I said, this guy's going to shoot. And he actually just shot. He just shot in J like a daft shot, two goal, too. Like, he doesn't think. There's no one there who can tell him what to do. Put the ball in the box. You never know what we can get there. We can get the second ball. We can get a penalty. We can get a header. We can, like, if you shoot from 35 yards, what are the chances? Like, everyone is going to look at the shots, that the 3 goals that Bruno scores a season, but not the 800 shots he took that season. While he could have had the easy pass there and positioned himself to receive the pass, and that will mean that we keep the ball more and we relieve pressure from our defense. But this is not about Bruno. This is about Man United. I'm gonna get to United. I was just wanting to rant, man. Like, this team, it gets on my tits, or it just gets on me, man. Like, this team, like, yeah, we are bad, man. Like, let's talk about Ten Hag. We can't hide away from him. Like, Ineos, I'm giving a chance. I respect the fact that they are not being influenced by the fan base, but what are we doing here, man? Like, does Ten Hag's fate have to rely on us beating Brentford? I don't get that. It's like when they said if we lost to Villa, he would have been sacked. That doesn't make sense. Like, does one result or 2 results define someone's job? Like, if you want him or not, like it shouldn't rely on us. If we lose to Brentford today, we shouldn't sack him. Because why? If we win, like, it doesn't change. It's just one game. Next, we're going to get pummeled by Chelsea down the line, by Arsenal, by City. We're going to see the same thing. We're not scoring goals. We scored 58 goals last season. Last season was our worst ever start in the Premier League. This season, we've bettered ourselves. This is our worst ever season now. We scored 5 goals. Brandon Bruno has more goals than us. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, we don't score goals. We have wingers who don't create. Like, Ahmad is literally our only creative, and he's not the best of players. We still have Rashford. Don't get me started on Rashford. I've said for many years now, it's going 2 years. He's not even Premier League quality. I'm not exaggerating, man. Like, just take time today to look at Rashford. Head down. Then sometimes he will get lucky and it will turn for him and he will score. Then it will be like, oh, Rashford. But most times, head down, runs into the blind alley, we lose the ball. He doesn't track back. He doesn't help his left back. Granted, he's never had a left-footed left back for the past, year? Like, it doesn't make sense. I've said this for the past year. Why aren't we getting a left back? Like, of all these genius football gurus at United, no one has the common sense to actually say we don't have a left back. That's our priority summer signing. Like, it does not make sense. Like, it does not make sense. Luke Shaw last played for United February, Jude. Like, imagine. He came back for England, he got injured again. Beginning of the season, he came for the first game of his first training session. He pulled up. The club told us he's out for a month. He'll be back after September international. October international, he's still not here. They're now lying to us, telling us he's going to be back in the short term. I'm telling you, he won't kick a ball this year. Malacia, who's to say? The guy hasn't kicked a ball in over a year, man. What do we expect of the guy? He should be going out on loan. Like, knee injuries is a serious thing. Having 2 knee operations because of United's incompetence, man. Like, we can't even complete the surgery. The guy needed another surgery. Lisandro Martinez, he's a shade of a player he was. United were doing well. Remember, Ten Hag's first season, we're leading 2-0 at home to Seville. Quarterfinal Europa League, Lisandro Martinez breaks his foot. In April, that was the beginning of the end of Ten Hag's team at Manchester United. Ever since last year, April, Lisandro Martinez has not. He came back pre-season last year. He got injured on the same foot again. You know why? Because incompetence. He did a surgery on the exact same foot. He came back. He's not the same player anymore. He did play well, granted, in the final against City, but where is he now? Even our medical, we're just not competent. So like, yeah, it's a long day, man. Like Man United, it's long. I don't know what you expect. We should beat Brentford. If we do, we're gonna scam back it. It's probably gonna be 2-1 somehow where Brentford hit the post, or we probably got a penalty we don't deserve. You know how we move Ten Hag system. Like I'm also over it, man. Like I don't know, and I don't care who they get. Like, come on, man. Like, get rid of the guy, man. Like, but I don't want Van Nistelrooy. Like, go a different route. We've tried all the routes, man. Like, you get someone from the championship, man. I don't care. They can do better than Ten Hag. Like, let's be honest. What are we doing here? Are we gonna say injuries? Every team has injuries. Granted, last year it was, yeah, no, our injury list was bad. But this year, who's been injured? The left backs don't count because they are always injured. They're just getting a paycheck from United. Lenny Yoro, he's never kicked the ball for United. Okay, now Mine is injured. He's not playing Ugarte. He bought Ugarte. The club bought Ugarte. He's not playing him. He bought Casemiro. Casemiro's finito now. We bought him for 70 million. He still has 3 more years left. Like, what are we doing here? He's playing Bruno till death do him part. That will be his death. Bruno was Sosha's I will die by my sword and live by it. He's now a Ten Hag's guy. Like, number 10 there, let's give it to Bruno so that he can shoot from ridiculous angles or cross it whenever he would like. So yeah, it is what it is. Let me just actually get over. I'm gonna end up waffling for hours here about United. So I'm gonna say 3-1 Brentford. I hope I'm wrong, obviously. I hope it's like a 3-0, 4-0 United. We play like prime Barcelona. But yeah, man, I'm just tired of predicting United win. Well, I know, like, let's be honest. If you watch the game for Brentford against City at the Etihad, they could have been 2-3-0 ahead. And Brentford have scored a goal in the last 3 games in the first 2 or 1 minute, I think. You bet your life they score first 2 minutes at Old Trafford. You can already see it. Yeah, 3-1 Brentford. We move. Newcastle versus Brighton. Yeah, Isak is back. Newcastle have left a lot to desire this season, but Brighton, I've stayed constant. I watched Brighton play against Man United early in the season, and I was like, defensively, they do not impress me. So they play this high line. So I expect Isak and Anthony Gordon. If you have those, you keep them. Sorry, I'm gonna say I see goals in this 3-1 Newcastle. Then the basement boys, the 2 teams that are going down. Southampton, Leicester. I know someone, if they are watching, or yeah, I know someone who says it's Leicester. Like, I mean, for years, even when they won the league, you had commentators say Leicester. When are you still 2024? 10 years later, still say Leicester. But you don't want to correct, English is not our mother tongue. So yeah, Southampton versus Leicester. Yeah, man, what can I say? Yeah, Southampton they play well, like they play neat and everything, but quality. They're like Burnley from last year. Like, they stick to their principle. They want to pass out from the back, but they're gonna get caught out in this league. If you're a relegation team in this league, you gotta play possession football. Like, you gotta play prime Sam Allardyce. That's why Sean Dyche's team always stay up. Why? Because he just does. He knows what to do. Play percentage football, play long ball, get the free kick there. From there, you take it from there. You crowd the box, long throws, corner kicks, defend well. Make sure you defend well. That's how you get your 40 points. But Southampton, they will live and die by their sword. So yeah, it's gonna. You never know. They can win this game actually. Then Leicester, they surprised people actually by winning last week, or me, should I say. I didn't expect them to beat Bournemouth, but they did well. There's something about them. I would give credit to Steve Cooper. He's actually going the route that I'm saying Southampton should take. The percentages, these chances that Leicester stay up because they know how to defend well. They get clean sheets. They can nick like results. But it's a must win for both teams. It is. It really is. I'm gonna say 2-1 Leicester. Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Bournemouth, decent team, and Danny Ariola, very good team. They have all their players fit. Arsenal, they probably have all their players fit except Odegaard, but Arteta wouldn't dare tell us, so we'll find out with the team sheet. But I still expect Arsenal to win 3-1, 3-1 to the Arsenal. Yeah, I think Arsenal will just win, man. Like they find a way to win. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually nil, because when they are away, they also find a way to keep a clean sheet. Probably, they will get a set piece as well from Saliba or Gabriel. So 3-1 Arsenal. Sunday fixtures, Wolves City. Yeah, Wolves, they have had a pretty terrible start. I think this is the worst ever fixture run a team can get since that were, like, in terms of difficulty ratings. Like, they've literally played all the big teams except United, but we are not a big team because we are 14th. And like riddle me this: if Real Madrid won Copa del Rey and finished number 8th, do you think Ancelotti will still be there? Not a chance. So what are we doing here? We also sacked Louis van Gaal for winning the FA Cup and finishing 5th. Now our standards are even going down. Like, okay, it's not about United, but yeah. So Wolves, from next week, I'm actually looking at bringing Wolves players. So Wolves fixtures are going so good from next week. So players like Mateus Cunha, if you keep. Aid Nouri on defense, yeah. But this week, Khalas, I think Haaland hat-trick, guys. I think Haaland hat-trick. I'll say 3-1 City. They always find a way to concede as well. Then Sunday, that's the big game. This is where we will see where these two teams are. This is where we will see. This is where you have to make time to watch a brilliant football match. I think Liverpool, Chelsea, number 3 and 4. Oh, no. Number 3 and 4 in terms of what I predicted or what I think the table will look like at the end. But I think now Liverpool are number 1. So it's 1 against 4. It's a top 4 game. Anfield, Chelsea are have every single player fit, even Reece James. But yeah, they are missing Cucurella and Fofana. I think the Cucurella miss is a big miss. They don't have many left backs, even though they do have Ben Chilwell in their books. But I think they'll play Renato Veiga. Will be a big test. Fofana, Tosin can be a blessing in disguise, because Chelsea's team, if you notice, they're very short. Like, who's a 6'3" there? Because their midfield is Enzo, Palmer, and Caicedo, short guys. Front 3, Sancho, Madueke. Okay, Jackson is probably 6 something there. Then at the back, nothing also. They have small guys like Gusto, Cucurella, even Fofana is not the biggest of guys. Levi Colwill, okay, is big. So I think that will help, because I think Liverpool can exploit Chelsea in set pieces there. Liverpool like those Van Dijk, Konate headers there. So yeah, it's going to be a brilliant game there. We'll find out. Liverpool have not played anyone decent. They played United, but are we good? No, we're not. Chelsea, I've predicted them to do well. As you can see with my team previously, I've had Palmer and Madueke for the longest times. I'm going to keep Palmer for the long term. Their fixtures are turning now. This is where we'll find out where Chelsea are, because next week, where do they go? They play Newcastle at home. Then the following week, it's United away. Then Arsenal. This is where we'll find out. Even for Liverpool. So Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal, those teams in the next 3 weeks, they would have played each other. So this is where the fixtures turn. So for us and our picks, it's going to be tough. But I'm planning to keep those guys with those fixtures. Last season, I would have brought people like Son, good fixtures, and Foden or Salah. But I'm backing Saka and Palmer to do well in these tough fixtures. It's going to be a brilliant game. For me, Caicedo, yeah, man, that guy is brilliant, guys. Like, he's worth every 100 million, whatever it is, man. Trust me, that guy is brilliant. He's been brilliant this year, so he won't get the credit he deserves. So people like Palmer will, but yeah, Caicedo is one of their best players. Palmer, you never know. He doesn't need to play well. His output is good. He's on penalties. He's on set pieces. Yeah, Salah as well. Is he okay? My GOAT FPL pick, I would say Aguero personally, because I remember the 5 goals for Aguero. I captained him against Leicester. Then I think there was a 4 goals or 5 goals against Newcastle. I captained him as well for a 50-pointer as well there. So yeah, I have good memories, but with Salah as well, I've had great memories with Salah. He's probably the FPL GOAT. Haaland in the next few years will take over if he keeps on going at that rate. But yeah, I can't have him. He's too expensive. I love that we can't have more than 3 premiums. I want Trent. For me, Trent is the best defender now. It looks. I did say Ben White was, but in terms of FPL, yeah, but Trent looking like at 7 million. If you have Trent, to keep. So that's why I'm enjoying this season. I'm enjoying this season because, like, the prices, we can't have all the players, which is it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Then yeah, prediction, I'll say Liverpool 3-1, just because it's Anfield, and yeah, I'm predicting that. I hope they lose. I'll take 3-1 Chelsea. Monday night, yeah, man, this just looks like a 0-0 written over all over it. Both teams don't score a lot of goals. It's either 0-0 or 1-0 to the other. I'll probably say 1-0 to Forest because they're home. I have 2 players there on Monday night, Henderson and Murillo. But since I have them, it'll probably be a 1-1 actually. I'll say 1-1 and jinx it and hope it's a 0-0. So yeah, that's my predictions, ladies and gentlemen. So you can make do of what you will with my predictions. Don't say I didn't assist you by giving you money indirectly. You can go play them on the betting things. You'll probably win 1 million while I don't play them. It will be funny, right? Come back here tomorrow on my chat, on my comment, and tell me that I won you so much money by predicting this. And I got you a green arrow by helping you, by showing you the best picks. So yeah, 600K in the world. Hopefully, I get a green arrow. I'll leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. Happy weekend. I'm happy it's a weekend. Football is back. I'm going to go out. Probably going to miss the Spurs match. Come back later. Watch United. Watch Arsenal later. Probably grab, it's a summer. So when it's summer, you grab something cold. Cold water, cold juice, cold bev. Yeah, enjoy football, chill out with your loved ones or loved one. We'll see each other tomorrow. Thank you to those people who have been watching. I can see they're constant, pretty watching. I love you long time, as many people would say. Yes. Till we meet again. Peace.